are back. I'm so happy. Thank you so much to those of you who joined me and helped me not feel quite as insane. Thank you so much for listening to the text and then talking. That is the whole point of this thing. So if this is your first week, you're going to want to start with week 1 because I only have 4 minutes to talk about all the text. And that means I can't spend it reintroducing this exercise. So I have 4 minutes. Let's get to our text. Last time we were discussing the book of Ruth, which is found in the Tanakh, and we discussed that she is a female and a widow and about to be a foreigner, and how crazy all of that social labeling can be, how intense those assignments are. And we discussed it in our group. What are your own social assignments? What is that like? And now I want to go deeper. This one might feel triggering. And again, the whole point of this is to engage with your own experience and your own discovery of the role. So if you're not ready, if you're not at a place where you're like, oh, I'm not going to be all vulnerable and tell you about my stuff, you don't have to. Like, tiptoe in where you're ready. Be inspired by each other's stories, or just be a fly on the wall. But wait till you hear what Ruth did. It will inspire you. Ruth would have been totally normal. It was the expected outcome that when she suddenly found herself a widow to a man whose family and destiny was far away, where there's a famine, she was young and didn't have any children and therefore remarketable. And she could have gone back to her family and either become back into her father's house and into the care of her family where there was abundance and security. Again, societally speaking, this was a time when women couldn't exactly have freedom to choose. They had to be underneath the care of some man in order to secure survival. Well, in most cases. So that would have been the normal expected response. But instead, Ruth says to her mother-in-law, who's now also become a widow. So her husband dies, and then her father-in-law is also dead, and now she's turning, looking at her mother-in-law going, I want to go with you. So unreasonable. So not rational. So not the what your parents would want you to do thing. And when I read this portion of ancient literature, I think, what? She made such a risky choice. As a female back then, she already had such limited power and security. And now here she is again, choosing to say, I'm going to be even more limited in my power because I so desperately feel compelled by a relationship with this person that I am going to abandon all that I know and pursue a life to sustain this relationship. That was really risky and really bold. And I am sure that if there was any social media update post, which there wasn't, that people would have been like, Ruth, you cray cray. Don't do that. Don't abandon your people. Don't go there. They're in a bad place. They're in a bad way. Like, you're going to ditch everything you've ever known for that person who you barely know. But like, there would have been so much criticism. So here's my question for you that I'm really hoping you will join me and talk about in whatever way you're willing. What are the hard choices maybe that you're trying to make right now? Maybe that you've made in the past where it did not make sense to anybody around you, but you were sincerely compelled. I want to hear that story. Will you share it with me, please?